Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick video today. So I didn't realize this, but I saw a post earlier today, so I hope it's correct. But it said that this was the anniversary of Stephen King actually staying at the Stanley Hotel in room 217 and getting inspired to write The Shining. Now, I don't know if today, September 30th, is the exact date, but sometime in September 1974, King did stay in that room, and that was what inspired him to write The Shining. So I thought I'd go ahead and just do a quick video in regards to The Shining, as you can see by my lovely background here. So The Shining, the movie, the book, the sequel, Dr. Sleep, and the movie for Dr. Sleep, all excellent. I think they are great books. I enjoyed the movie, The Shining, even though it is different from the book. I enjoyed it just because I'm a Kubrick fan, so just, you know, it was cool on its own. I know King isn't a fan of it. But Dr. Sleep, the movie, I really like the way they tied that into the original movie and into the book, and so I thought that was really neat. Dr. Sleep, the book itself, I have not, unfortunately, had a chance to read yet. But I figure we'll shoot a quick little video going over all of my mementos, because to be honest, The Shining is probably one of the most iconic of King's work. I mean, you see references to it everywhere, especially if you've ever seen the movie Ready Player One. I mean, seriously, it's the last half of it's all a big King fest. So, I mean, it's so interesting to see how much it's influenced, and a lot of people may not even see some of the references that come up in pop culture and catch it right away. But one of the biggest ones you always see are always the little girls, the little twins. Although I'm not 100% sure, I don't remember correctly if they were twins in the movie and just sisters in the book, or vice versa, but I don't know if they were actually supposed to be twins. So, but they're called the Grady twins. So there we go, we got the Grady twins. I got this figure on a trip a while back. Then I also have this one. Come play with us, Danny. Then we have the Pop Funko figures. And then that actually goes right on into, we have Wendy, Danny, and Jack. Of course, got the whole family. And then I've also got some artwork that ties into The Shining. I've got this very cool painting done by Kevin Elsinger is his name. He's got a website, you can check it out. He has a lot of, you know, King. He did a couple of, you can't see it on the image, but I've got a Pennywise, and old Pennywise and new Pennywise in the same kind of style. So he does really good work and has some King stuff out there, so you might want to check him out. Then we also have the Shining puzzle. Now, I am definitely not a puzzle person, so I am not going to be putting this one together. I'm just going to keep that one in the box. Then we have, of course, the key, room 237. Now, the thing about room 237 and room 217, when he stayed at the Stanley, he stayed in room 217, and it's 217 in the book. But when they were filming the movie, they filmed the movie at a hotel in Oregon, and that hotel actually had a room 217. And they didn't want that to be an issue in the future, which frankly I think was a mistake. They totally could have made money on it and turned it into a tourist trap. But instead, they had the producers of the movie change it to 237. And so that's why it's 237 in the Kubrick movie and 217 in the King book. Then I also have a photo of the Stanley Hotel. I was lucky enough this summer to be able to go and spend some time there with some friends. It was a total surprise to me. Some really great people in my life, my fiance John, and our best friends Jesse and Giselle. They surprised me with, I thought we were just going to be staying in Boulder, which was cool enough. There's a King connection there. But instead they're like, well, let's take a day trip and go up and see the Stanley. So we get up there and we're having lunch, and they surprised me by saying, well, we're actually staying here. So that was really cool. And so we wound up staying the night, and that brings us into this bottle of ketchup. While we were there, you know, COVID was still kind of a thing. It wasn't as big though. So they were giving out everyone individual bottles of ketchup instead of having big bottles on the table itself. So I snagged one and kept it as my own souvenir. Then we also got a bookmark at the gift shop, the Shining Red Rum, and it's got a picture of the Stanley, which, you know, is the basis of the Overlook. Then they've got room 217 on a postcard. And then another picture. Now, we actually stayed in the Stanley, and we stayed one night And we got to stay in one of their spirited rooms, room 401, which is, if you actually are familiar with, you see where the tower is right there? It was basically right under that. So we were right above the staircase and right under the tower, right over the middle of the back patio area. And nothing scary happened, but it was too hot. I think that night it was so hot in there. They had an air conditioner, but it just wasn't keeping up. It was just so hot. You know, we went to bed and like we're just miserable. So even if a ghost could have been standing right next to me, blowing on my face, and I probably would have been like, okay, that's good, because it was miserable. The hotel itself was really cool to stay at. If you're a King fan or a Ghost fan, you're gonna love it. If you're going there just to have a really super fancy hotel experience, maybe not so much. You know, like I said, the air conditioner wasn't even like a wall air conditioner. It was like a plug-in one that you could move from room to room, so it wasn't super powerful. I guess they've never really had to deal with that. Climate change, gotta love it. But anyway, so we stayed in room 401. A male ghost who some believe to be Lord Duravan is reported to be in this room. The thing about this is this guy never actually even stayed at the Stanley. The Stanley is built on the land that he used to own. He never even visited the Stanley before he died, and so it's kind of interesting that they think this is the room that he's haunting. So then there's also room 407, which we did not stay in, where people have been reported being tickled in this room, or tucked in this room. Room 413, guests have reported seeing a man dressed in old-fashioned clothes. Room 418, 428, and 217, 1302. I'm not going to go through them all. Now, the thing about room 217 is the thing that happened there didn't even kill a person. There was a maid cleaning the room, and there was an explosion, and she got blown down to the floor below, and she lived. I mean, she had like some broken ribs and maybe a broken leg or something, but I mean, she lived and lived a long life. So I think it's interesting that the event that happened in 217 didn't actually even involve somebody dying. So that was kind of interesting. Then you get a nice map of the Stanley when you stay there, and they circle like your hotel and put your room number on it. So that was pretty cool. Now they used to have, in the olden days, a channel playing the movie The Shining on a loop 24/7 at the Stanley, but we couldn't find that, and I was kind of disappointed about that. And that kind of brings us into the next thing, is because there was a mini-series made by Stephen King in the 90s, a new one of The Shining, and that one was a little bit closer to the book. Not an axe, it was a croquet mallet, you know, just like that. And that one was actually filmed at the Stanley, so they have a lot of memorabilia about that. And I was able, when I was there, I was able to get some pictures, and I got a book made to kind of commemorate our stay there. And there's a picture of the model of the hotel they used in the mini-series. So there's a lot of stuff like that, breaking down the history. Me in front of room 217. So it was an awesome trip. I picked up a couple other souvenirs. I got a little tag for room 217, the Stanley. On a different trip, I picked up Stephen King Shining related face masks. But yeah, it was a really fun trip. It was a nice surprise. I totally did not expect it. I was blown away. Love those people dearly. I could never have done that on my own in a million years. So that was really very, very cool. I would recommend, if you're a big King fan, you have to check out the Stanley. Now we got to plan a trip to the hotel in Oregon where they actually did the other one, and maybe a trip to his house in Maine. Now we're going to go and take a look at the books. We're going to actually start with Dr. Sleep. I've got two copies of that, a hardcover and then the smaller paperback one. And again, this is not one I have read, but I really, really enjoy the movie. I've watched it several times. I didn't even realize there was actually a director's cut. And then apparently, I don't know if it was a version overseas but I was watching a reacts video on YouTube, and some of the scenes they were seeing I had never seen before, and I'm like, I don't remember that in either version I saw. So I don't know. They were in Canada, so I don't know if there was a different cut in a different country, but if so, that'd be kind of cool to get a copy of that one. And then I do have a couple of paperbacks of The Shining. Now here's the shinier cover and the not shiny cover, so you can see they're slightly different. We have this copy, or this cover, and then we have the old school cover, and then the shiny old school cover where it's got the metallic finish. So those are my Shining collection. All ties into the Stanley Hotel. You should check it out if you get a chance to be in the Boulder Estes Park area. Beautiful, beautiful place up there. There was literally moose or elk, I'm not sure, I'm not a nature person, wandering around on the grounds, so that was really cool to see. I did actually get a chance to go on the tour as well while I was there. It was different. I would recommend it if you get a chance to do it. You probably have to sign up early. And apparently, to actually spend the night in room 217 on Halloween is such a big thing that like it's booked out for like a decade. So good luck on trying to get something like that. But all in all, I would highly recommend you check out Stanley. If you haven't read The Shining, you should definitely do it. And if you come across any cool references that you find in pop culture, leave a comment below. Hope everyone stays safe and keep reading.